Now, back to more of Behind the Scenes at the Hanover Theatre. And your host, Lisa Condon.
Welcome back, everybody, and thanks so much for listening. I am now with Midge Hamilton. Midge is the marketing director over at Music Worcester, one of our great partners, and very excited because they are bringing Sleeping Beauty, performed by Moscow Festival Ballet, to the Hanover Theatre Friday, April 18th. Welcome, Midge.
Well, thank you, Lisa. It's a pleasure to be here.
Always a pleasure to have you as well. And you know, I have to tell you, ballet is one of my passions, and so I always eagerly look forward to when Music Worcester brings these great ballets to the theater.
Well, I know you have a ballerina, do you not?
Well, I do. I do have a ballerina in my family, and I also took classical ballet for about 15 years as the dance major. Yes, so I truly appreciate all the hard work, dedication, skill, artistry, everything associated with ballet. So tell us a little bit about this. I know a lot of people probably think, oh, Sleeping Beauty, it sounds very familiar. But tell us about the music and the dance and the score and the production.
Yes, it does sound familiar. It's something probably that everyone has heard the story. And it is, of course, Love Conquers All.
Love it.
From a deep sleep when the prince comes. And we're very excited to have another ballet coming to your beautiful theater where everything is always a smooth production and just a wonderful experience, I'm sure will be again for the audience. Moscow Festival Ballet has been here before in the past and has done a wonderful job. The music, of course, is Tchaikovsky. I mean, last year it was Swan Lake, and so we're hoping it's going to be similarly wonderful. It's doing very well. We still have some tickets left. So it's a very exciting thing with great costumes and wonderful sets. And some former Bolshoi people, we are told. So there's that to think about as well. And it's perfect for all ages, obviously. The story kind of thing appeals to everyone.
Well, can I just ask you a question, Midge?
Sure, of course.
When you say it's good for all ages, I just want to clarify, because we do get that question a lot.
I'm sure.
What is the minimum age that you actually recommend?
Well, that would kind of be at the discretion of the parents. I would think they should know a little bit what would be great for their kids. I mean, we are doing something with Ecotarium that is for a preschool, a little bit of a preschool program. So I suppose if you have people who, children that are very much into dance, that could be a very young age to bring them, at least for part of it, if you're comfortable with the fact that you might have to leave a little bit in between. I've certainly seen that happen at all kinds of performances where people just have a little time out for the little kids. But and
it is a Friday evening, which makes it, in my opinion, a perfect date night, or the perfect thing to do with your parents or anybody that you really want to impress, because this is an evening, I think, when people tend to dress up for the ballet, correct?
Well, yes. I mean, there is that, too. Some people really do take it as a grand occasion, and grandparents and their grandchildren, I think it's great for them as well, and we certainly encourage that. Some of the best experiences that some of us have ever had
it's true.
Started out with a grandparent taking us to that first show or first performance, and I'm sure you get a lot of that at the theater, too.
Absolutely. It's wonderful. Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned the Ecotarium, because this is all part of that WOO partnership again. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the collaboration between...
happening?
Yes.
Well, next Wednesday on the 16th, the Ecotarium has some great programs for young people, and they are doing Spring into Preschool and Toddler Wednesdays, and our Wednesday is going to be called Let's Move Like a Dancer. Cool. They're focusing on the movement aspect of things, and there will be some ballet dancers there, and they will be doing a little bit of dancing and a little bit of interacting with the children. They're also going to read the story of Sleeping Beauty.
Wonderful.
There are two little modules. There'll be a 10:30 one, 10:30 to 11, and then 11 to 11:30. And I believe then they switch classrooms, because they're going to also have it'll be a meet and greet kind of thing, but they'll also be doing the story. And then there's a potential there for a surprise visit by an animal. I'm not promising anything. But the movement thing, they might bring that into play. It's a great fun thing. It's free with admission and free to members. And members, as you know, at the Ecotarium and other great venues, receive free Woo cards as part of their membership. And they will be swiping for points. And we also are a Woo organization, not a vendor per se, but a Woo organization, and we will be swiping people for double Woo points at our table, and having a drawing for some tickets.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, so
it's going to be phenomenal. How long, out of curiosity, is the ballet?
I do believe that the ballet will be inside of 2 hours. I don't have the exact run time, but judging from the past, I would say you're safe to say within the 2-hour window.
It's just phenomenal. And, I'm so glad that Music Worcester books the ballets and brings them to the Hanover Theatre every year. Can you tell us a little bit about what goes on in preparation for that? How do you decide which ballets to bring?
Well, there certainly has something to do with the fact of what's being toured that year.
Of course.
And then something that we hope will appeal to our audiences. And this is certainly one of them. So the decision is made by my executive director, ultimately, Adrian Finley, but he does work with the board of directors, and they discuss what will work, and that's kind of the process to bring them in. And also, can I back up and say, someone just put in front of me that we have a runtime. There is an intermission, a 20-minute intermission, and so they're looking at inside of an hour on each side of that.
Oh,
so
that's great.
That's about right, yeah.
That's terrific.
So, what else can I tell you?
Well, you know what? What do you think that people should know to prepare to come to the ballet? There's a lot to be said about doing your homework before you go so that you can enjoy the show all the more. Certainly, they should read the story if they haven't in a while. Because what I find is when I read some of these older stories that I remember as a child and then I read them again as an adult to my daughter, they seemed a little different.
Yes. I'm not sure that we all know the names, and I'm not sure that I know all the names, but there's Aurora, and apparently there is one of the fairy godmothers who is having a bad day. I'm not sure what her issue is, the one that starts all the problems. Maleficent. I do believe there is going to be a movie coming out. I'm not sure how appropriate it will be for children, but it will be on the Wicked model, I believe. The backstory to why is she so grumpy and all of that. So, there's a lot more to it. I've only sort of dug into the storyline a little bit myself.
Well, and then there's certainly the musical score that goes along with this.
Yes. Yeah, the Tchaikovsky music is, we know it from the Nutcracker, which you also have at the theater, and Swan Lake, and he just has this wonderful ballet music.
And what's nice is the quality of the dancers as well as the music. And I think we should also mention that it's Jennifer Agbay from Ballet Arts Worcester who's really helping you out there at the Ecotarium. She is wonderful.
She is, and she brings the Nutcracker, does she not?
Yes, she does.
Yes, absolutely. We were not able to have the Russian ballerinas because they're just simply not in town in time.
Right.
And so we reached out, and Jennifer was good enough to help us bring in some dancers for the Ecotarium event.
It's truly amazing. Yeah, it's truly amazing when you think of the touring schedule of these ballerinas. So you've got this group of Russians, right?
Yes.
And they are touring all over the world, and they're in and out of every location. When do they come in for their performance at the Hanover Theatre?
I know. Well, I believe the day before. You might even know that more than me. I'm not sure what the load-in time for them, but it's very quick. They never stay very long. So they work incredibly hard.
Yes, because they still need to take their master classes to maintain their technique. And then they have to rehearse, and then they have a performance.
Right, all in one day.
All in one day.
Oh, and I also need to be sure to thank our sponsor for this event. In part is Commerce Bank, And we have media help from the Business Journal and from Bay State Parent.
Oh, how wonderful.
Yes,
See,
we're
we
lucky.
all work together to make sure that everybody has access to the performing arts here in Worcester. So
Absolutely.
thank you, Midge. Is there anything else? If people want more information about your organization?
Yes, Music Worcester, musicworcester.org, and there are still some limited tickets available for this ballet. We hope that people will check it out and see us there.
Absolutely. And check out the different restaurants in the WCAR program. Again, perfect Friday night out. And for many of you, it's the Friday night before April vacation. So have a great night either with the family or with some adult fun.
Yeah.
Midge, thank you so much for coming on our program and telling us a little bit more about what Music Worcester is doing, not just at the Hanover Theatre.
Well, again, yes.
Yep, but at the Ecotarium. And we are looking forward to seeing all of you at the theater. Thank you again, Midge, and everybody. We'll see you next week. Have a great day.